Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the reactions that I'm getting from former teachers upon coming out as conservative online. So let's go ahead and get into this. Back on July 9th, I posted this video on my Instagram story. Let me tell y'all something very, very, very simple. If you're telling people that they can't do something based on their race, for example, y'all telling white girls they can't wear braids because they're white, that's racism. You're telling them they can't do something based on their race. And so upon posting that, I had a lot of people trying to tell me that black people can't be racist. We can only be prejudiced, so it's okay for us to tell white people what they can and can't do based on their race. And as y'all know, I don't agree with that. That's some BS, and I'm way too smart to go along with that at this point. So my former teacher went ahead and DM'd me, and she said Zakia spelled it wrong. And I'm saying this in love. No, she wasn't. By definition, we, minorities, cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced, but not racist. This lady is like 30 plus, y'all. I agree that worrying about white women's hair is childish and rude, but it's not racist. Again, if you're telling a white woman that she cannot wear a hairstyle because of her race, that is the most basic form of racism, and I don't understand why y'all can't comprehend that. So she went ahead and commented to another part of my story that I posted, which was this. Somebody agreeing with what I said, telling me to ignore the backlash. And I said, racism is wrong. She replied and said, racism is wrong. Well, you don't think racism is wrong because you don't think it's wrong when people are telling white girls they can't do something based on their race. You think that's justified, and that is insane. So I went ahead and corrected her on her misspelling of my name. I said, it's Zakia. And how is telling someone they can't do something based on their race not racist? Ever since I learned that definition at Comer, it made no sense to me. And I realized it's because it's a lie. She said, how can the oppressed oppress the oppressor? Try to say that 5 times fast. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not oppressed. Who told you I was oppressed? Are you saying I'm oppressed because of my skin color? That's pretty racist to say. I apologize for misspelling your name. Yeah, whatever. I said, ma'am, I'm not oppressed. In what way am I oppressed? Perhaps you are not, but the black race is. Right. Well, I guess I ain't black. We are not afforded the same opportunities as our white counterparts without working substantially harder. Like what? Name one example. As you get older and navigate the world a bit more, these unfortunates will become a bit more clear. I've noticed a lot of people trying to downplay my points by saying that I'm young, but it's like I'm younger than you and have more common sense than you. That should be a wake-up call. We are told we must wear natural hair colors in the workplace, but like black women, we're not allowed to wear red hair, even though red is in fact a natural hair color. White women have red hair. So as y'all can see, she literally answered her own question. She said that it's discrimination for a job to say that black women cannot wear red hair because white women have red hair. Okay, and most black women don't. Red hair is not something that's naturally seen in the black community, and that's just a fact. I don't understand what's the issue with telling the truth. We all know if we give these people an inch when it comes to hair colors, they take a mile. You girls will come in there with Ronald McDonald red hair, looking like clowns. Nobody wants that in their business. I'm sorry. I said, what specific opportunities aren't afforded to me as a black person in America? I mean, since you know me so well, you know my life. Why do you think affirmative action ever existed? Affirmative action existed so black people can have an easier opportunity getting into school. But all it did was dumb people down. People are awarded opportunities to get into schools they actually aren't academically ready for. And then cry when they're failing, they're on academic probation. You weren't ready for that institution. Why do you think the country is in an uproar about it being overturned? Because y'all are racist. Black people were the only ones mad about affirmative action being overturned. The Asians were happy. And so was I. Have you ever read the mortality rate of black women in childbirth versus white women? We die at a much faster rate because our medical needs aren't met in the same way as white women. To that point, I really believed that for a really long time, but I actually learned that the reason why black women tend to have a higher mortality rate when it comes to childbirth is because black women tend to be more obese. They tend to have worse health. And that's just a fact. Sorry. We know y'all like seasoning. I could go on and on and on. But really, the burden is on you to do your research and to educate yourself on these facts. So she's telling me to re-indoctrinate myself, even though I've already skirted my mind of the brainwashing I went through for 4 years. I hope in all this you gain clarity and peace. I have gained clarity and peace by blocking y'all. Just because one doesn't agree with something doesn't make it untrue. Okay, but telling somebody they cannot do something based on their race is racism, ma'am. That's an indisputable fact. You don't agree with what many were saying about you calling black people racist, but that doesn't make the fact that we can't be racist untrue. That was the most confusing sentence ever. She just thinks black people can't be racist, period, because we were oppressed. That's some BS. I challenge you to do more research. I have a plethora of resources that I can share with you if you're interested. Y'all, this is where I ate her up because she couldn't even respond to me. She ignored me. I said, I've done more research than you can imagine. I've recently been going through my Google Drive I had when I went to Comer. I was truly disgusted at the pure propaganda I was taught in my 4 years at that school. I recall seeing a PowerPoint I made senior year where I explicitly said, quote, Trump supporters are racist, unquote. So I asked myself, what did Trump say that was actually racist? I can't find anything. I remember writing an essay on black people deserving reparations in one of my teacher's classes. I reread it and found so many poor arguments. Yes, y'all, my last essay before I graduated high school was on why black people need reparations. It was called The Big Payback. I do not agree with that anymore. Seeing 17-year-old me claiming to be a victim is truly amazing. I was never a victim. And I truly feel like I was failed. I feel blessed in the fact that I did not end up going to Howard University because if you guys do not know, I was 100% going to Howard University after high school to be purely indoctrinated, but I ended up not going by the grace of God. I know for a fact that I would have had that victim mentality drilled into me even more. Y'all, I was finna literally major in African American studies. Like I was going to come out a pure Marxist. At the end of the day, I'm a Christian woman. And as a Christian, how can I sit up and rationalize being racist? And as y'all can see, she went ahead and left me on scene after that. And I never heard from this lady again. So I guess I won't be invited to the Comer class reunion.